If that's Jamari Thrash and he gets that ball taken away, it's like, yeah, it's Jamari Thrash down there. What are you going to do? But it's not. It's the guy you traded a second rounder for and then paid. And it's the guy that people in Denver were talking trash about before he went out the door. It's the guy the national media was getting into it with. Steve Smith and all those people were getting into it with. And this is just another indication. Because if I'm watching this...
Like, it's going to happen. So, like, it is what it is. I'm not one to, ever kick somebody down when he's down. Like, he understands it's a big play. And I'm sure he's hard on himself. So, there's no need for me to be extra and do that. Regardless, so I still got the same belief, in myself, and I definitely, like it is every week. You gotta get out there, learn from it, play better, and that's it. You can lose your job at any point in time. So you don't play with fear. When you live and play in fear, then you'll never be yourself. So I don't play or live in fear. Whatever situation I'm in. Whatever happens, it happens. But I live each moment and try to live each day to the fullest, so never live in worry or fear.
The NFL is about to punish Jerry Jeudy after insane allegations surfaced that he's been deliberately sabotaging Shedeur Sanders. And what Cleveland media just revealed about Jeudy's weak, fragile feminine hands that couldn't catch a perfect pass has analysts saying a legitimate number one receiver would never let that ball get ripped away like Jeudy did. Local sports radio hosts on 92.3 The Fan are now openly questioning if Jerry Jeudy is the same player that Denver was talking trash about before he went out the door, and demanding the Browns be done with him after his disastrous performance proved he's not who people thought he was. But here's where this gets absolutely explosive. Analysts are pointing out that Jeudy seemed like he was balling when he had Dylan Gabriel, but mysteriously wasn't doing this suspicious behavior until Shedeur started throwing him the ball, leading to allegations that Jeudy might be intentionally making Shedeur look bad. The most damning evidence? A former defensive back and Hall of Famer went nuclear, saying people criticizing Shedeur's perfect ball thrown by Sanders to Jeudy have never played football and don't understand that Jeudy's failure to secure the catch exposed his weak hands. And now, with Jimmy Haslam signing new wide receiver Jamari Thrush to the 53-man roster, it's clear the Browns organization is preparing to replace Jerry Jeudy because they've seen enough of his suspicious drops and mysterious failures when Shedeur needs him most.
Jimmy Haslam is making it his business to definitely, sign some wide receivers. They signed a wide receiver that played a couple of games with the team this past season, and it looked like they want to see more of him because now he's on the 53-man roster. Now, with that being said, there has been lots of debates going around. Will the Browns draft another quarterback with their picks? Could they locked and loaded with these draft picks, man? I mean, personally, you need some offensive line help. You need some wide receiver help. And you definitely need some offensive weapons to make...
Probably just... What I would have done different, I probably just probably talked them off camera. You know what I mean? That's probably what I would have done different. Of course, I'm going to speak my mind and tell me what... and say what I need, what I see out there. But it what it is, football, man. Just me and Shedeur good. It's stuff like that happens. Y'all gonna make it bigger than what it is. Because the media, that's what y'all feed off of, negativity. But it is what it is. This is the life we live. So we move on from it. And I live a real life. So what happened around in this locker room, this real. Now what's going on social media and everything. So me and Shedeur good, everything good. Man. We're great over here.
Look, y'all need to sit down for this one, because Jerry Jeudy is in serious trouble after what just came out about his conversation with the media and that disastrous play against the Bears. And I'm not just talking about local fans being upset. I'm talking about Cleveland sports media, national analysts, and even former NFL players going nuclear on Jerry Jeudy for what he did to Shedeur Sanders. Let me start by setting the scene, because there's layers to this story. Yesterday, Jimmy Haslam made it his business to sign wide receivers. They signed Jamari Thrush, a wide receiver who played a couple of games with the team this past season, and now he's on the 53-man roster. That's not just a depth move, that's a message. The message is clear. We're done with Jerry Jeudy. And an insider who's been covering this situation said it perfectly. There has been lots of debates going around. Will the Browns draft another quarterback with their picks? Me personally, you need some offensive line help, you need some wide receiver help, and you definitely need some offensive weapons to make sure you have Shedeur Sanders in the right position. You got your quarterback, get him the pieces he needs to succeed. It's just that simple. Shedeur Sanders has already proven he's the guy. Facts. Shedeur has proven he's the franchise quarterback. What he hasn't had is receivers who can catch the ball when it matters most. And Jerry Jeudy, he's become the poster child for everything that's wrong with the Browns' receiving core.
Hi, this is Mary Kay Cabot of Cleveland.com after the Browns' 26-8 loss to the San Francisco 49ers. So much drama in this game, during the game and after the game. But I want to talk a little bit about Shedeur Sanders, what is next for him, and the heated exchange that he had during the football game with Jerry Jeudy. It was caught by the CBS cameras, those two guys going over something, a play on the Microsoft Surface, and just kind of arguing about it a little bit. Ethan Posich steered Jerry Jeudy away. But these two guys definitely were not on the same page about what they were discussing. And then afterwards, Shedeur talked about the fact that it's going to take some time to develop trust between those two, to develop timing, chemistry, and for them to get on the same page and see things through the same lens. And it's almost seemed like he was capturing what happened during the game, even though he wasn't directly addressing that.
Now, many local media people is hella mad at Jerry Jeudy. Now, just like I stated, a lot of people been saying that Jerry Jeudy is the piece that pretty much is implemented to make Shedeur look bad. I've been telling y'all, bro, he looking a little spooky. Now, I'm not one to pick on somebody when they down, but damn me, I heard Jerry Jeudy was like that. I heard he was the only one on the team that was like that offensively. Now, I'm not a Browns fan, never been a Browns fan.
Now, here's where this story gets spicy, because local media people are hella mad at Jerry Jeudy right now. The insider said, a lot of people have been saying that Jerry Jeudy is the piece that pretty much is implemented to make Shedeur look bad. I've been telling y'all, bro, he's looking a little spooky. Spooky? That's a loaded word. That's saying Jerry Jeudy is doing things that don't make sense. That's saying his failures look suspicious. The insider continued, now I'm not one to pick on somebody when they're down, but damn, I heard Jerry Jeudy was like that. I heard he was the only one on the team that was like that offensively. So people were telling this insider that Jerry Jeudy was supposed to be the guy, the number one receiver, the one player Shedeur could count on. But then the insider drops this bomb. From what I heard through the grapevine, I heard Jerry Jeudy is the one. If Shedeur got one wide receiver he can count on, it's Jerry Jeudy. Now, we know what has happened since Shedeur Sanders has been able to start. I don't know what the hell. Jerry Jeudy seemed like he was bawling when he had Dylan Gabriel. He wasn't doing this. He was not doing this right here. He wasn't doing this when he had Dylan Gabriel. Y'all, do you understand what that means? Jerry Jeudy was playing well when Dylan Gabriel was throwing him the ball, but the moment Shedeur Sanders became the starter, Jerry Jeudy started dropping passes, letting balls get ripped out of his hands, and making spooky plays that make you wonder what's really going on. That's not a coincidence. That's a pattern.
But I like this.
You know what's funny? Is I see these fucking retards that never played football, and they're looking at that pass, Sanders, that perfect ball thrown by Sanders to Jeudy, who's got the little weak, fragile, feminine hands that couldn't catch it. They're like, oh, this is a great ball. It was never bad. You people have never played a sport in your life, and you're trying to tell a former defensive fucking back, Hall of Famer, that he should have never caught it was a bad pass? Are you fucking kidding me?
But now let me show you what Cleveland sports media said about Jerry Jeudy, because this is where the allegations really start flying. On 92.3 The Fan, the hosts were discussing that play where Jeudy let the ball get ripped out of his hands in the end zone, and one of the hosts said something that perfectly captures what everyone is thinking. If that's Jamari Thrush and he gets that ball taken away, it's like, yeah, it's Jamari Thrush down there. What are you going to do? But it's not. It's the guy you traded a second-round pick for and then paid. And it's the guy that people in Denver were talking trash about before he went out the door. People in Denver were talking trash about him before he went out the door. Y'all, that's damning. That's confirming that Jerry Jeudy has a history of this behavior. That's confirming that Denver fans and media were warning everyone about Jerry Jeudy before he even got to Cleveland. The host continued, "It's the guy the national media was getting into it with. Steve Smith and all those people were getting into it with. And this is just another indication, because if I'm watching this, guys, a legitimate #1 wide receiver is taking that ball. It's that simple. A legitimate #1 is taking that ball." The host then asks, "Do you think Jeremiah Smith, when he comes out, Jeremiah Smith, the pipes he's got, you think he's letting anybody else get that ball? Ain't happening. Jeremiah Smith gets that ball." And his co-host responds, "Go around the league. I'm sure there are a couple examples of guys being able to knock balls out of great wide receivers' hands. I'm sure it happens. But to just rip it away from you and take it away? No. You name the very best. You name the strong ones. Even guys who are just strong wide receivers. They're not getting it taken away from them."
Good balls are good balls are good balls. That's a good ball thrown by Shedeur Sanders. Make a play. You're the wide receiver. You're the one who's the veteran. He's the rookie. You make the play. You know it's going to be tougher. Make a play. Stop blaming everything else. Make a play. Stop looking for things that aren't true. Guys, you got 3 more weeks, and he may be able to save this, but with the way things are, we'll talk to Zach Jackson at 9 about all this. With the way things are, he probably won't.
That's the key point. Elite receivers, real #1 receivers, don't let defenders rip balls out of their hands. They secure the catch. They fight for the ball. They win those contested catches. But Jerry Jeudy, he let a defender take the ball right out of his hands like it was nothing. Then the host drops the ultimate truth bomb. That's a good ball thrown by Shedeur Sanders. Make a play. You're the wide receiver. You're the one who's the veteran. He's the rookie. You make the play. Stop blaming everything else. Make a play. Stop looking for things that aren't true. That's a good ball thrown by Shedeur Sanders. The media is confirming that Shedeur threw a perfect pass. This wasn't a bad throw. This wasn't a questionable decision. This was a dime that should have been a touchdown, and Jerry Jeudy failed to secure it. But wait, because there's more. A former defensive back and Hall of Famer went absolutely off on people who were trying to blame Shedeur for that play. He said, "You know what's funny? I see these retards that never played football, and they're looking at that pass Shedeur threw, that perfect ball thrown by Sanders to Jeudy, who's got the little weak, fragile, feminine hands that couldn't catch it." Weak, fragile, feminine hands. Y'all, a Hall of Famer just called out Jerry Jeudy's hands. He's saying Jeudy doesn't have the strength to secure contested catches. He's saying Jeudy's hands are too weak to be a #1 receiver in the NFL.
Hell, and tell a former defensive fucking back, Hall of Famer, that he should have never caught him with a bad pass? Are you fucking kidding me? You're fucking retarded! You don't fucking know! I fucking know! I played the game at a high level! And I would not want to go against Black Burrow, because he would pick my fucking team apart. You're just so fucking jealous!
The Hall of Famer continued, "You people have never played a sport in your life, and you're trying to tell a former defensive back, a Hall of Famer, that he should have never caught him with a bad pass? Are you kidding me? I played the game at a high level, and I would not want to go against Black Pearl because he would pick my team apart. I played the game at a high level." This isn't some random fan talking. This is a Hall of Famer with actual NFL experience saying Shedeur Sanders threw a perfect pass and Jerry Jeudy failed. The Hall of Famer concluded, "You're just so jealous, you're traumatized, and there's not a thing you can do about it. You just need to accept it. Black Pearl's here to stay. There's nothing you can do about it." Boom! A Hall of Famer just defended Shedeur Sanders and destroyed Jerry Jeudy's reputation in the process. Now, let's talk about the allegations that are swirling around Jerry Jeudy, because this is where things get really dark. The insider said, Jerry Jeudy seemed like he was balling when he had Dillon Gabriel. He wasn't doing this. Think about what that means. When Dillon Gabriel, a quarterback who struggled all season, was throwing to Jerry Jeudy, Jeudy was making plays. But when Shedeur Sanders, a quarterback with way more talent, started throwing to him, Jerry Jeudy suddenly started dropping passes and letting balls get ripped away. Why would that be? Why would Jerry Jeudy play better with a worse quarterback and play worse with a better quarterback? There are two possibilities.
They don't waste the draft picks on the quarterback. They go get some offensive help for Shedeur. That should be operation number one. Who we finna get to help Shedeur be successful here in Cleveland? Guys, get down in the comment section. Let me know y'all thoughts about this one, man. Keep them bells on. I will be back with another one. Like always, man, till next time, shake the damn haters off. I'm out of here, bro. Peace out.
In the season to be signing players, but the Cleveland Browns is definitely making it their business to sign.
Option 1, Jerry Jeudy is intimidated by Shedeur's talent and can't handle the pressure of being the #1 receiver for a franchise quarterback. Option 2, Jerry Jeudy is deliberately making Shedeur look bad because he doesn't want Shedeur to succeed. Either way, it's a problem, and the Browns are clearly starting to see it because they just signed Jamari Thrush to the 53-man roster. The insider said, Jimmy Haslam is making it his business to definitely sign some wide receivers. Them signing players is letting me know that they're not giving up on this offense. They want to see more of Shedeur. The Browns are bringing in new receivers because they've seen enough of Jerry Jeudy. They're preparing to replace him. But here's what makes this whole situation even more frustrating. The media is still trying to defend Jerry Jeudy while acknowledging that Shedeur has been set up for failure. One of the hosts on 92.3 The Fan said, "You got 3 more weeks and he may be able to save this, but with the way things are, he probably won't. There's still 2 other picks to go at. There's still a game where I think he held onto the ball a little bit long because he was looking for guys to throw to. I still think that there was obviously confusion. I think that in so many ways he was kind of set up for failure because of how everything went with the play cards and not being able to be as prepared for it as I think he should have been." Set up for failure. The media is admitting that Shedeur was sabotaged by the coaching staff with the wrong plays in his wristband. They're admitting that he was put in an impossible situation. And then the host says, "There's plenty of things going against him. I don't need to sit here and have a fight because I don't believe that. I don't need to go looking in places I don't need to look." Wait, what?
Stop looking for things that aren't true. Guys, you got 3 more weeks, and he may be able to save this. But with the way things are, we'll talk to Zach Jackson at 9 about all this. With the way things are, he probably won't. So if you're waiting for the other shoe to drop and you're trying to be nasty about it, there's still 2 other picks to go at. There's still a game where I think he held on to the ball a little bit long because he was looking for guys to throw to. I still think that there was obviously confusion. I think that in so many ways he was kind of set up for failure.
The host just listed all the ways Shedeur was set up for failure. The play card disaster, the lack of preparation, the receivers not making plays, and then he says, "I don't need to have a fight about it?" That's called cognitive dissonance. That's the media knowing the truth, but being afraid to fully commit to it because it would mean admitting that the Browns organization has been sabotaging Shedeur Sanders. The insider wrapped it up perfectly. "I think we just need to be done with Jerry Jeudy, bro. Can we please just be done with Jerry Jeudy at this point?" Yes, the answer is yes. The Browns need to be done with Jerry Jeudy. Because here's the reality. Shedeur Sanders has proven he can throw perfect passes. A Hall of Famer confirmed it. Cleveland media confirmed it. The film confirms it. What Shedeur hasn't had is receivers who can catch those perfect passes. And Jerry Jeudy, with his weak, fragile, feminine hands, has proven he's not capable of being the #1 receiver for a franchise quarterback. The insider said, hopefully they don't waste the draft picks on a quarterback. They go get some offensive help for Shedeur. That should be operation number 1. Who are we going to get to help Shedeur be successful here in Cleveland? Exactly. The Browns have their franchise quarterback. Now they need to get him weapons who can actually help him instead of receivers who sabotage him. So here's my question for you. When Jerry Jeudy was balling with Dylan Gabriel, but mysteriously started dropping passes and letting balls get ripped away when Shedeur became the starter, does that prove he's deliberately trying to make Shedeur look bad? When a Hall of Famer says Jeudy has weak, fragile, feminine hands, and Cleveland media admits a legitimate #1 receiver is taking that ball, isn't that proof that Jeudy is not who people thought he was? And when the Browns immediately signed Jamari Thrush to the 53-man roster after Jeudy's latest disaster, doesn't that confirm the organization is preparing to replace him because they've seen enough of his suspicious failures? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because the allegations against Jerry Jeudy are insane, and the NFL world is watching to see if the Browns will finally bench him for good. If you believe Shedeur deserves receivers with strong hands who can actually catch his perfect passes instead of weak-handed veterans who let defenders rip balls away, smash that subscribe button, because we're going to keep exposing every receiver who tries to sabotage Shedeur Sanders' development while pretending they're trying to help him succeed.